All right, let's talk about the second most villainized macronutrient, and that is fats. So, fats for a long time, we've gone back and forth, through the years. You need to be low fat. Low fat's better for heart health, and then we need to be high fat, and all these different things. But at the end of the day, none of the macronutrients will cause weight gain on their own. Weight gain is only caused by a caloric surplus, which can happen a number of ways through decreased movement, increased food intake. But none of these macronutrients on their own are villains, and they all work together as a part of a system, as the building blocks for our overall health and well-being, for our long-term success, and for satisfaction, truly. I cannot in any way, shape, or form recommend that anyone give up an entire food group for the rest of their lives. So it's important to recognize how these macronutrients work, how they work together, and how they're crucial for your success. So some facts about fat. First of all, again, healthy fats are an important part of your nutrition journey. Fats do have 9 calories per gram, so they're a little bit more calorically dense than our protein and our carbs, which both have 4. So it is important to take that consideration. This is where fats can kind of be demonized as, fats will make you fat. That's not true. There's just a whole lot more. They're just more dense than anything else. So we do have to be mindful of that. Not to mention that healthy fats are a crucial part of us being able to fully detoxify, hormones and other things. They're an important part of keeping the gut going, but they can also have the opposite effect as well. So with a lot of things, we're kind of looking at Goldilocks, not too much, not too little, and I'm going to go over what that looks like, and so you can understand why it's so important to hit your macronutrient target when it comes to your fat. So, again, they're important for healthy hormones, where carbs will help, fuel your brain, which is going to help signal hormone production. Your fats are going to help your hormones circulate through your body. Again, hormones are not just reproductive hormones. We're looking at insulin, we're looking at leptin, ghrelin, we're looking at our thyroid hormones. So many different, aspects of hormonal health has everything to do with your reproductive health, and then nothing to do with your reproductive health at the same time. And it's an important part of satisfaction, right? There's no doubt they've done many, many studies on the fact that foods that are high in fat and high in salt at the same time are super palatable, which encourages us to move past our hunger and satiety cues and tend to overeat. But at the same time, your foods will be pretty bland if we didn't include some sort of fat component, some sort of taste there. So it can be an important part of you staying satisfied throughout your day, which is going to be crucial for you finding flexibility in your food and being able to stick to a plan. If you're just eating bland chicken and broccoli and rice all day every day, that's not joyful, that's not fun, that's not satisfying, and you're not going to stick with it. So, as we look at trying to work with as many whole unprocessed foods as we can when we're trying to make up our day to day, we also want to recognize that we still need to have a little fun. We still need to enjoy what we're eating. Enjoyment is a big part of you being successful. All right, so some ideas for some healthy fats, of course, olive oil, avocado, avocado oil, coconut oil, whole eggs, as an easy strategy for increasing your protein and making sure you get ample healthy fats at the same time is to mix in a whole egg with egg whites. And so you can kind of play with your ratio there based on how much protein you need for that meal, based on how many healthy fats that you need for that meal. Fatty fish, a lot of people just throw fish into the protein category, but actually, when you start to understand macronutrients, when you start to be able to read labels and understand what you're eating, you'll understand that fish are actually pretty high in fat. Things like nuts, nut butters, dark chocolate, all kinds of different ways that we can get fats in. They're super, super important. Full fat yogurt, high quality red meat, things like cheese, all of these things are good sources of healthy fats. Again, we just want to be mindful of our portions. This is where weighing our foods can be kind of crucial. Being able to weigh our nuts, weigh our nut butters, just recognizing that there are 9 calories per gram. So we want to make sure to stay in that target area. So, some considerations for your healthy fats. We want to consume between 25 to 40% of our total daily caloric intake in healthy fats every single day. This is one of the common mistakes that I'll see people making in their nutrition is they'll hit it low one day, hit it high the next day, and then the average does work out. But we will really want to focus on not going under, at the bare minimum 50 to 60 grams if you're a menstruating woman. But I usually start female clients between 30 to 35%, just depending on where they are in their hormonal cycle and their overall goals. It is important, they are important to regulate menstrual cycles. So, a lot of times when women have lost their menstrual cycle, if they're not of menopause age, a simple adjustment in healthy fats can often bring the cycle back. And again, they're an important building block, right? So, looking at our overall nutrition, as there are different players, and each different player has an important role, not just in your fat loss, not just in your sustainability, but your overall hormone health, your metabolism, and just ultimately feeling your best. And so, I'm going to remind you, at the end of the day, if you get to the end of this process, if you get your results and you don't feel amazing, then those aren't really results and that's not really progress. We want to do this in a way that has you feeling your absolute best, because that is what you deserve. So hopefully this is helpful and you understanding your macronutrients a little better and makes you excited to hit those targets every day.